What if I told you that pretending to be confident actually makes you confident? Not metaphorically, not as a motivational slogan. I mean literally, at the level of your hormones, your neural pathways, and your body chemistry. Most people hear, "fake it till you make it," and roll their eyes. It sounds like something you put on a motivational poster. But in the last 15 years, neuroscientists and psychologists have been quietly building a body of research that changes everything we thought we knew about identity, behavior, and how the brain learns who you are. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what happens inside your brain when you act as if, and give you a 3-step method you can use tonight. Let's start with the neuroscience, because this is where it gets fascinating. Your brain has a remarkable limitation and a remarkable gift. It cannot fully distinguish between something that is vividly imagined and something that is actually happening. When you mentally rehearse a skill, the same motor neurons fire as when you physically practice it. When you remember an embarrassing moment, your body releases the same stress hormones as if it's happening right now. This isn't a bug, it's a feature, and it's called neural plasticity. In a landmark study, 2 groups of people were asked to improve their piano skills. One group practiced physically for 2 hours a day. The other group only imagined practicing. Same notes, same sequences, purely in their minds. After 5 days, brain scans showed nearly identical changes in the motor cortex of both groups. The mental rehearsal group had grown new neural pathways without touching a single key. Your brain builds what you repeatedly simulate, which means if you consistently act as if you are confident, calm, capable, your brain starts building the architecture for exactly that. But it goes even deeper than neural pathways. There's a hormonal dimension to this that most people have never heard about. Researcher Amy Cuddy at Harvard conducted a study on body posture and hormones. Participants who held open, expansive postures, what she called power poses, for just 2 minutes, showed measurable increases in testosterone and decreases in cortisol, the stress hormone. Their bodies had responded to the posture as if they were already in a position of confidence and control. Now, this specific study has been debated in the scientific community. Some replications showed smaller effects, but the broader principle it points to has been confirmed across dozens of related studies. Your body position, your facial expression, your tone of voice, they don't just reflect your inner state, they actively shape it. When you smile, even if you don't feel happy, your brain releases small amounts of dopamine and serotonin. When you slow your breathing deliberately, even in the middle of a panic attack, your vagus nerve signals to your amygdala that the threat is over. Your body is constantly sending messages to your brain, and you can choose what those messages say. This is the biology of acting as if. Here's where it gets philosophically interesting and practically powerful. Psychologist William James, often called the father of American psychology, said something over 100 years ago that neuroscience is only now proving correct. He said, "Act as if what you do makes a difference." It does. And more specifically, if you want a quality, act as if you already have it. What he was describing is what we now call behavioral activation of identity. Your brain doesn't first decide who you are and then act accordingly. It works the other way around. You act repeatedly, and then your brain updates its model of who you are. Every time you do something brave, even something small, your brain files it under, "This is something people like me do." Every time you act with patience, with confidence, with discipline, even imperfectly, you are writing new code into your identity. The overthinker who speaks up in one meeting, the anxious person who takes one deep breath before responding, the person who feels like an imposter who shows up anyway. These aren't fake moments. They are the exact moments the brain uses to rewrite its own story about you. So how do you actually apply this? Here is a 3-step method based on the research. Step 1. Define the identity, not the goal. Don't say, I want to be more confident. Say, I am someone who speaks up, even when I'm nervous. Identity-based framing activates different neural processes than goal-based framing. It shifts the question from, can I do this, to is this who I am? And your brain works much harder to stay consistent with identity than to reach a distant goal. Step 2. Find the smallest possible action. You don't need to fake a TED Talk. You need to find the tiniest version of the identity behavior and do it today. If the identity is calm person, the action might be take 3 slow breaths before your next difficult conversation. That's enough. The brain learns from repetition, not from intensity. Step 3. Narrate it to yourself immediately after. This sounds strange, but the research is clear. After you take the action, even a tiny one, say to yourself quietly, "That's like me." Just those 3 words. This is a technique from self-perception theory, and it accelerates the identity update faster than any affirmation. Do these 3 things consistently, and within weeks, you are not faking it anymore. You have become it. The brain is not fixed. It is not a verdict. It is a draft, and you hold the pen. But there is one thing that blocks this entire process, one pattern that makes acting as if feel impossible no matter how hard you try. And it comes back to something we talked about in a recent short, something that started long before you were old enough to choose. That's what we're going to go deep on next time. If this video helped you see yourself differently, even slightly, share it with one person who needs to hear it. And subscribe if you want to understand your brain better every week. I'll see you in the next one.